Hi, I'm Boomhauer69 here, and today's video I'm going to talk about my goal with this little free pantry I have set up in my yard. Links will be down in the description to the video I already did explaining all about this little pantry and what it's all about and everything and stuff. But a little quick introduction about what this is. It's a little pantry I set up in my yard to help out those in need in my community and area and stuff. You can't see the sign too good, but it says Little Free Pantry. Leave what you can, take what you need. Little Free Pantry. But yeah, linking down in the description will be there for video link will be down in the description explaining everything on what this is all about. So if you're new and you're seeing this for the first time all about this, I suggest check out that video first and then come back and watch this video. But my ultimate goal with YouTube through the YouTube AdSense revenue is to raise up enough money to where I can replace this shed right here, this plastic resin shed, with a more bigger and better shed. My goal is to ultimately to put a nice regular wood shed here. Once I raise the money up, I will then look into the local laws in my area, the local government laws, and see what is allowed, because I live in a area where we have zoning and stuff, live inside a village limit that have local zoning laws and stuff and building laws. And so my goal would be is to raise up the money, go to the local government, look at what the setback requirements are, and see what size shed I would be allowed to put in the in this general area right here, to see what size of a structure I can put in this general area right here and stuff. That's my ultimate goal would be. Here's a picture done up by a local drafting company of kind of what I was thinking. And this is done by a local drafting company, and it's going to take roughly about, on the low end, maybe around $5,000 to about $10,000 to be able to make this happen. The type of structure I would put. The reason why is because in the near future I'd like to add something bigger here, so I can add shelving on the inside, add electrical. So in the near future I could possibly add maybe some refrigerator, freezer combo, and maybe a deep freezer and stuff to offer up frozen foods and stuff. I know the holidays are coming around and stuff, and not everyone can afford to buy a turkey for Thanksgiving or a ham for Christmas or whatever, and it would be nice to have a big structure with electrical and everything where I could possibility maybe in the near future add a refrigerator unit and or deep freezer and have room to put, you know, some turkeys and hams and have more variety of frozen foods, and have a bunch of frozen foods like TV dinners and different like frozen meals and stuff. And then have more room to be able to maybe have like a closing section and shelving, dedicated shelving areas for certain items and stuff, you know, be able to have, you know, a bunch of area for hygiene products and feminine care products and etc., so forth and so on. You know, have more variety of stuff to help out the community and stuff and things. That's the ultimate goal. And then also have electric insulation. And then with a structure like that, it would be a lot more safer against any like critters and stuff that try to break in and stuff. With this resin shed, I haven't had any problems with wildlife trying to get in here or anything, but with this it would be more easier for wildlife to try to break in and get to things. So definitely upgrade to something more sturdier and better. And with a regular shed like I talk about, I would be able to have more options available for those in need in the community. More items and things, and so that's my ultimate goal would be is to just figure out once I raised up enough money where I can say, hey, I can do this idea. Then it would be figure out what can be legally allowed here. What the local zoning laws and setback requirements are and stuff. Figure out all that, and then from there figure out what size would be practical. What would be practical here? What size? And then once I figured out what size would be practical to be able to put here and I can use, then it would be figure out the actual cost of everything and go from there. And then also I'd be able to upgrade the signage. My goal is also to maybe add like a picture window, so that way I could use the picture window as like a bulletin board where local pantries could and non-profit organizations that help out people in need, they could email me their flyers. I could tape them up in the windows. Like say, for example, local church has a food pantry. They could send me their flyer about the local food pantry, and I could tape it up to the little window and use the picture window as a bulletin board where people can come that are in need and say, oh, I didn't know such and such a church had a food pantry, and I didn't know there was this organization that existed, or if there's some homeless shelter in my area, a homeless person comes along and says, oh, hey, there's a homeless shelter I didn't know about, and so forth, so on, have those options available and stuff. And with a regular wood shed, bigger shed than this, and an actual regular nice wood built standard shed, I would be able to do a lot more to help out the community. Here's a picture drawn up again by a drafting company that I actually personally know, and they were kind enough to help me make this right here. That's kind of a general idea of what I'm kind of thinking about here and stuff. I would be able to offer a lot more to the community and be able to better help out the local community, because not everyone has an opportunity to get to like the local pantries or churches and stuff, and a lot of the local food pantries and places that help out people in need in certain stuff are only opened certain times of the day, and sometimes people in need, they have jobs, they work, they can't hurry up and race to that church or non-profit organization to get their care package and stuff, and because they're working and things. And so I want to add something that would be basically open 24/7, 365 days a year, where people could come down, grab what they need, take it home, and not have to worry too much and stuff. But that's the ultimate goal with all this. Replacing this is have more options for things and be able to add electrical insulation and stuff, so that way in a pinch I could, if need be, I could have electrical where I could plug in an electric heater if I needed to heat the structure for whatever reason, super cold weather, and there's certain items that can't get cold and stuff. I would have a way to keep it temperature controlled and stuff. Whereas something like this, obviously you can't add heat to it, you can't add electrical, obviously it's just a plastic little resin shed. But yeah, that's the ultimate goal, is to add something bigger. Now, in the event I could not do that idea for some government reason, I was told no, not enough space where they wouldn't allow it because not enough space or whatever, too close to the property line, not enough room for setback requirements, so forth, so on. In that event, then what I'm going to do is raise the money and then look into a commercial space in my local area here, find somebody that's got a commercial space building that I could buy and turn that into a free little pantry. But that would be basically my plan B, because that's obviously going to be a lot more harder to do than just a regular standard like 10 by 10 or 10 by 15 little shed or 10 by 20, whatever. But yeah, that's my ultimate goal, is to simply, through the YouTube AdSense revenue, raise up the money to put an even bigger, better shed here in its place for the Little Free Pantry, to help out the local community and to help out my local community and stuff. And the reason why I'm doing it through the YouTube AdSense revenue, instead of like making GoFundMes or asking people to donate to a PayPal account and stuff, is because with YouTube AdSense revenue, I'm guaranteed every month a little bit of pocket change, Like, I'm not necessarily guaranteed I'm going to get, like, say, for example, I make a video about the project and it gets $5,000 one month. It could the next month get, like, $50, $200, or even more than, or $20,000 or something, But anyways, with the YouTube AdSense revenue, I'm at least guaranteed some funding, some money, to be able to restock the whole thing. That's the reason behind it. After I raise up enough money to where I can build structure, then I have money coming in where I can restock the pantry. If I have to make repairs, be able to have money to make repairs and so forth, so on, I still have money coming in. Whereas doing like a GoFundMe and certain donation, that's just a one-time payment only, and then after that, there's no other money left over and stuff. So that's why I do it through the YouTube AdSense revenue, because I know it will bring in more income. I can look at the video and say, okay, this video about the pantry made this amount of dollars, and then I can take that exact amount and go and reinvest into the little pantry and stuff. But yeah, that's my goal, is to simply upgrade this small plastic resin shed to something bigger and better that's going to be more helpful to the community and those in need in my local community. Because I'm all about trying to help out the local homeless in my area, the families in need, and different things, because I know times are hard and there's people out there struggling and they need that help. And so I want to do the Lord's work and help those out in need. So that's my ultimate goal. I hope I was able to explain everything really good with all this wind around and construction going on down the road from me. I do apologize for all that, but I hope you learned something. And if you wouldn't mind sharing this video with everyone you know, I would greatly appreciate it, because the more views I get, the more money I can put towards this project and stuff. That's how YouTube works, is the more views I get, the more money they pay me. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, because that helps me out too, that helps out the algorithm and lets Google know, hey, people want to see Boomhauer69 YouTube channel, and so they bump me up the list there, in the search bars and stuff. And then also by you watching, sharing, and so forth, so on, and by you giving this a thumbs up or a thumbs down, also helps out as well, like this video. And don't forget to comment below, because that also helps out too, putting your comments. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to drop them down in the comment section, and maybe I'll make a video about your question, or just simply give you an answer right in the comment section and stuff. So don't be afraid. If you have any questions, to feel free. And even if you're a local construction company in the Saranac, Michigan area, and you see this video, and you build sheds too. I work close. I know a company that builds sheds, but hey, if you're another company out there that builds sheds too, and you have a website and you got sheds on your website, feel free to drop them down in the comment section as well. I'll take a gander at what you got, and who knows, you might be cheaper than the shed company I already know that build sheds and stuff. So I know pricing of sheds and stuff, they usually go for about around $5,000 to upwards to like $10,000 and on up. It all depends on the size and stuff, and what are you going to add and all the features and stuff. For me, I'm just gonna keep it pretty basic, simple. in the end, it's just going to boil down to looking at the local government laws once I have the money and be able to figure out what size I can legally put here and stuff, and then go with the biggest size I can go that's going to fit perfectly here, and then that will be that, and then it'll just simply on the inside figure out how to add electrical to it and stuff, and then insulation and so forth, so on, up to you. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good day, and thank you for watching this video, and hope you learned something. Again, don't be afraid if you have questions, put them down below, and have a good day, everyone.